This is a demonstration of Trade Ideas Brokerage Plus connected to Interactive Brokers Trader Workstation. I've already launched Trader Workstation, but I want to make sure that a couple settings are in place. I'm going to go to File, Global Configuration. I'm going to select API and then Settings. I want to make sure that the Enable ActiveX and Socket Clients is selected. At the same time, I want to make sure that Read-Only API is unselected. Lastly, I want to make note of the port. In demo mode, it typically uses port 7497. In live mode, it uses 7496. I'm in 7497, so I'm making a note of that, and I'm going to go ahead and close the window since I didn't make any changes. Let's minimize the program, and now let's load the Brokerage Plus window. So we'll select New, and then Trade Ideas Brokerage Plus. The first thing that we need to do is connect the Brokerage Plus window with Trader Workstation. So to do that, let's go up to the Disconnected option. Notice the red icon next to it showing that it is disconnected, and then we're going to select Interactive Brokers Connect. So if you recall, I was using port 7497, and we'll select Connect. My icon is now reflecting a connected state. Now let's take a look at the different tabs that are open. The Strategies tab comes pre-configured with a couple of different default order types. I'll show you how to add a new order type and modify the existing ones. It also has a Position tab. Now the Position tab allows you to monitor the positions that you have initiated. In addition, it allows some very interesting features, and let me show you how to turn those on. Down in the bottom we have our gear icon. Let's go ahead and turn on the P&L graph. That's over on the left side. Let's turn on our filters. This allows us to filter the view in a variety of different ways. And our rapid order buttons over on the right hand side. So this is our position view. Accounts, once you're connected, you want to make sure that you're connected to the proper account. If you have multiple accounts, make sure you select the appropriate one, right click on it, and select Mark as Default. I only have one account, so I don't need to do that. The Messages tab is giving us the API message flow between Trader Workstation and Trade Ideas, and a view of the orders that have been transacted. Let's go back to the Strategies tab. So let me show you what these four different strategies, well, they're not really strategies. Let me show you what these four different order types represent. So let's go to Windows, and I'm going to bring up a window that I've already created, High Volume Movers. So any Trade Ideas window, whether it's a AI window or alert, top list, or multi-strategy, when you right click, it brings up our context sensitive menu. But there's a new menu item here called Trade, and then depending upon the symbol that you've right clicked on, it's going to give you that symbol. And then to the right of that is going to represent the four different order types that I have over on my Strategies tab. So in this case, I have four different order types created: 5,000 at market, 5,000 at last price, 100 shares at market, and 100 shares at last. So depending upon how you want to put that order out into the market and the quantity of shares or dollar value of the transaction, you would choose one of these different options. So let's go ahead and add an additional order type, if you will. I'm going to right click in the window. I'm going to select New Trading Strategy. Now what I need to do is I need to name it. This is probably the one of the most important parts here. So let's say we're going to go ahead and buy 500 shares at market. So let's just say 500 shares at market. I want to go long. I don't need to do anything else up here in this top panel. Now what I need to do is I need to make sure that I'm going to do 500 shares. And so in this case, I'm going to select Fixed Shares, and I'm going to type in 500. Now I need to select the type of order that it is. In this case, it's going to be a market order. I can leave it out there for 120 seconds. I don't think that'll be necessary, but we can leave that in there. I can put in a stop loss so that when I initiate that position, there's immediately a stop loss set. I like to use a filter, and I'm going to use Smart Stop. Smart Stop is an algorithm that looks at the stock's relative volume, its range for the day, and its volatility, and determines what a suggested stop would be if you were to enter into a position on that day for that stock. You could put in a profit target, and then you can also use a time stop. So if I want to get out, say 60 minutes after I initiate the position, I could have that set at 60. I think a good option for this here would be 12:45 or 12:55. And that's all I need to do here. Now I'm going to go ahead and hit OK, and you're going to see a new line item appear on my Strategies tab. So now let's bring back that window, High Volume Movers. Let's right click, and you see a new option right here, buy using 500 shares at market. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and buy DDD 500 shares at market.
Order partially filled. Order filled.
So now what I can do is I can go over to my position tab, and I can see that I've in fact established a 500 share position in DD. Lets me know what the price is that I've established that position, and it's going to give me real-time P&L of that. You can also see that if I was to go to the orders tab right here, you can see that I was filled 500 shares at market and my filled price, but I also have a couple of queued orders out there. So I've got a stop order, put the Smart Stop out there automatically, and it also has a queued time stop. So at 12:55, and I'm on the West Coast, market ends at 1 o'clock. At 12:55, if I haven't exited that position already, or I haven't deleted this particular order, I'm going to automatically get out of the position before the end of the market day. So that's how you would initiate a position using the right-click menu. Now let me show you how to add an automated trading strategy. So the first thing we need to do is let's develop a strategy. Most upward momentum. Let's automate it so that anytime a symbol appears inside of this window, I'm going to go ahead and buy it. And when I do it, I'm going to execute a set of instructions every single time. If I want to intervene, I can. But if I don't, it automatically will get me out of this position if a profit target is hit, if a stop loss is hit, or when my time stop is hit. So let's set it up. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to right click on this. I'm going to save it to my cloud. Most upward momentum right now, and I'm just going to save it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to my Brokerage Plus window, right click, and I'm going to load from cloud. It's already present down here. Let's load it. I'm going to add it to the existing. Now I could replace all the existing and I would remove all of those order types, and you're certainly welcome to do that. This is more of a way to get started and make them your own. Let's add it to the existing, and now I've added a strategy called Most Upward Momentum Right Now. It's currently off, it's not on. What I want to do is I want to make sure that it's set up correctly. So let's highlight it, right click on it, and let's edit the trading strategy. So most upward momentum right now, it's already been added into the strategy configuration area. Now I need to let the system know, when do I want to possibly initiate a trade? So I don't want to initiate a trade for the last half hour of the market. So I'm going to bring my slider to 12:30. I also want to make sure that I don't fill any more than, let's say, 5 orders. Or I don't send any more than 5 orders to the market with this strategy right here. I'm going to go ahead and, in this case, let's do $10,000 transactions. So every single trade that I make will be the equivalent dollar value of 10,000. And I'm going to get in at the market. My stop loss, let's use a Smart Stop. My target, make it $1. And we're going to get out 15 minutes after we get in. Said okay. Now what I want to do is I want to turn it on. Now I can turn it on with advanced exits or not. Now advanced exits include our profit save functionality that's present in our artificial intelligence. It also has our reduce risk algorithm. So you can turn those on or turn those off at your discretion. But in this particular example, I'm going to leave them off. If I wanted to turn it on, I would just right-click on the strategy and select Advanced Exits. Or I could select the strategy and select Enable Advanced Exits. If I did that, it's going to have an on notation over here under Advanced Exits. But what I do need to do is I do need to turn on this strategy. So I'm going to enable the strategy. And now I'm going to come over to my Position tab and wait for something to happen. So there's the first position that was filled out of that particular strategy. And you can see the strategy notation is most upward momentum right now. So right now you can see that this position is getting ready to exit in 13 minutes. Remember, I put a 15-minute time frame on that position. But I could right-click on it and I could modify the time stop. And if I wanted to move it later in the day, I can do that. It's pretty close. Now, if it was a ways off, I could move it closer to right now. Let me show you here. I've got this particular position, DD, closing in 3 hours. If I right click and I modify the time stop, I could move it earlier. Can't really move it later because it's pretty close to the close. I could cancel the time stop too. So with any of these positions right here, that right-click menu, it's context sensitive. So if you have a stop order, it will not allow you to add one, but you can modify. If you don't have a stop order, it won't allow you to modify, but it'll allow you to add it. And then we get pretty slick with the ability to move those stops tighter or looser depending upon your selection here. Now that I have a profit in CRE, I may want to enable the advanced exit. That would be the profit save. So now, theoretically, when CRE moves up enough, I'm going to lock in some of those profits if it was to pull back. That's a quick demonstration of using Trade Ideas Brokerage Plus with Interactive Brokers Trader Workstation.